Just like they say, your income is that of the 5 people around you. It's the same thing with your energy. Your energy is the, sum of the 5 people around you. And if you're surrounded by constant negative people, that's where you're going to end up. Hey everyone, Megan and Steve here with Hustling for Excellence. If you're new to our channel, please be sure to like and subscribe and click the bell icon so that you are notified every time we post content. So today is a follow-up to our last video about energy and the law of attraction. If you didn't get a chance to check that out, please click up here and go back and watch that video. This is a follow-up. We gave you all these tips about how to protect your energy, but what happens when you're in that environment with a negative person, or you're going to be dealing with a negative person? Because let's face it, we know that's inevitable, and we're all going to find ourselves in that situation. And those negative people, they're the ones that no matter how good something is, they find the negative in the situation. They can always find that bad point and they'll nitpick at it. They're also that person that always, they're the victim. They're always whining and moaning and complaining about something. They're the person that, everyone tries to avoid.
Yeah.
So today we're going to talk about suggestions about how you can protect your own energy or potentially not even deal with those type of negative people.
Yeah, absolutely. So like Meg said, we run into people like that all the time. And sometimes, honestly, it could be us, right? You could be somewhere and you're just not in a good mood. The vibe's not there. So, just be aware of that as well.
So what's the first thing we do?
Yeah, first thing we do is punch them.
No,
Steven. First thing you got to do is basically, they call it reconnecting with your roots, but basically means ground yourself. The whole idea there is just to kind of prepare yourself to deal with this person, and if you have to, right? I mean, we're going to talk about other techniques where you don't have to deal with them, but basically, if you have to deal with this person, just kind of get yourself centered and, okay, I know I'm dealing with whoever, and they're always the negative person, so just kind of get ready for it.
Yep. So second step then is after you've grounded yourself, to protect yourself. And it's basically like having an energy shield, not only to deflect their negative energy and keep it out of your sphere of your positive energy, but to keep your positive energy in so that they can't suck it away into their negative energy vampire vortex.
Yeah. So another one is like, are you going to deal with this person or persons on a one-on-one setting, or is there going to be multiple people? Is it going to be 3 or 4, or is it a big meeting? You might be stepping into somewhere where there's 8 or 9 people, and this guy or this gal is just the person that is just like Meg said, it's just, they find everything wrong. The lighting's wrong. The paper's not good. The pencils aren't sharp enough, whatever it is. So again, the whole idea here is if you have to deal with somebody one-on-one, you're taking the brunt of all of that negative or venting, we'll say. Sometimes it's just a healthy vent, so it's okay. But if it's just that negative stuff constantly, you don't really want to hear it. So if you have 3 or 4 people, we can kind of get divided amongst the group a little bit, so to say. And, and honestly, you can kind of sneak away, not have to hear that. That's a technique. But
keep that one to yourselves. The next is have a listening ear. Sometimes the negative person, they just need someone to listen to them and let them vent, like Steve said. A lot of times they're not looking for a solution. They just want someone to listen and to empathize with the problem, which, I think we've all had that at one time or another. I know I used to do that to Steve all the time. I'd come home after, a hard night of call, and I just wanted to complain about the, whatever it was. And he would want to give me solutions, and I'm like, no, I don't care. I don't want a solution. I just need someone to listen to me for 5 minutes while I get it all out.
Yeah. With that too, I mean, so you have the listening ear, but sometimes people do appreciate if you offer a little bit of help. So, you can ask them, hey, is there anything I can do? Can I help you out? And in a genuine way, right? You just don't want to give them hey, you need some help, dude, and you really don't mean it and you don't care. You really want them to say no. But, be authentic. If you truly like this person and your friends or your coworkers, and you want to see them, feel a little bit better and get out of that negative funk, offer if there's anything you can offer, some kind of help, and that might do the trick. And even if they don't accept it, just the offer is sometimes good enough.
They will definitely appreciate the generosity.
Yeah.
So the next step then is stick to the lighter topics. You know what they say, we don't talk about politics, religion, whatever in the workplace, things of that nature, or with the family member that just goes off on a tangent every time, you get together for the family picnic. But there's truth behind that. If you know there's a specific topic that they start going off on, just try to avoid that as much as possible. Stick to the lighter topics. If it's a coworker who there's a certain project that they're just gonna bitch and moan and complain about, if they're not part of that project, don't talk to them about that project. Stick to something, work related that they enjoy maybe, or if they've got a hobby that, they enjoy outside of work, when you have to interact with them, talk about that hobby.
Yep, good idea. So next would be to minimize contact. And I kind of talked about that a little. Yeah, there's a subtle way to do it, right? You can kind of get out of there. But ideally just, I just try not to be around those people when they're having that kind of mood, right? You tried all those techniques and you kind of listen to them, you let them vent a little bit, you ask them if they need some help, and sometimes at that point in that moment they just need space. So some of the best things to do is just kind of take a break and separate, whether that's at a meeting, at work, at home, whatever that is. It's just a matter of kind of stepping away, and most oftentimes they'll be like, hey man, sorry about that, I was thinking about something else, I was preoccupied, or whatever, having a bad day, because we've all had it, and nobody knows what happened to that. Could have had a car problem, a fight with the family, and so yeah, just kind of minimize contact. That's an easy one.
So in last resort, and this is the one that none of us want to resort to, but sometimes in your life you will have to resort to this, and that's simply removing that person from your life. They say about some people come into your life for a reason or a season. That's true of everyone in your life, and if it's someone that is just brings constant negativity and negative energy to your life, you really have to evaluate, is that someone you want to continue to have in your life? Just like they say, your income is that of the 5 people around you. It's the same thing with your energy. Your energy is the sum of the 5 people around you, and if you're surrounded by constant negative people, that's where you're going to end up. As we mentioned in the other energy video, you want to be around those high energy people, because that's where the gold is. That's where you want to be. So as much as you maybe don't want to cut someone out of your life, that may be necessary for you.
Yeah. And it might not just be a someone, it could be something. We talk a lot about the news.
Yes.
And the news is not meant to be positive. Typically, you see one good story for every 50 bad stories. So, and it's not like back in the day when the news was only on 2 or 3 times a day. I mean, it is 24/7. Multiple channels, it's in your phone, it's everywhere. So you are bombarded daily by the news. So, that's another thing people can do, is just take like a break from that. Don't watch the news for 30 days and see how you feel.
We have family members that say to us, oh, well, I have to know what's going on. Trust me, as connected as we are in this world with social media, if something really important happens in this world that you need to know about, someone's going to fill you in. They're going to let you know immediately.
Yeah, absolutely.
Trust me, we have not watched the news in years, and yet we're up on all the current events.
Yeah, and it's funny because once in a while I'll bring something up, and something will come up in the feed, and I'm just like, click on an article, and I'm like, as soon as you open it, it's like, why did I even open this? I know they're going to spin this in a way that's going to make me feel awful and try to make me like have a bad day or be fearful of something. So I try not to, get involved too much with the news, because again, they have one job, and that's really just to like sell advertising, right? So unfortunately, but
yeah. All right, guys. So leave us some comments. Let us know if you have any other tips to deal with negative people in your life. Because again, we want to protect our positive energy. We've got a lot of things we all want to accomplish. That's, I'm sure, why you're here, like we do. We hustle every day for excellence. We want to be better than we were the day before. So let us know what you do. Send us questions if you have them. We'll be sure to answer, and we'll see you in the next video.